Well, all eyes were on the Kelsey Brothers New Heights podcast. Over 1.2 million people tuned in live to watch Taylor Swift's appearance on the show. She joked when she first started dating Travis, she had a lot to learn about football.
I thought it was like Jared Goff is here and Josh Allen's here. And they're going to be like, they blow a whistle and then they go at each other and they're like, and it's like, who's going to win?
That's actually...
I would love to see Jared Goff play some defense. Let's see Jared Goff on defense.
I've got some ideas. I've got some thoughts.
Marcus, do you think Allen or Goff could have played defense in another life? Josh Allen, I feel like for sure.
Josh Allen could. Josh Allen could. Josh Allen is a freak athlete, man. He would figure it out. Unfortunately, he has a cannon attached to his shoulders, so he had to become a quarterback. But Josh Allen is a supremely talented athlete who I think could have played defense.
By the way,
Goff didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Sorry,
no
Jared.
chance. Milk check all day. Give me that.
Golf.
Oh,
Golf.
Man. I got to
Golf.
say.
G-O-L-F.
Yeah,
Golf.
right? Good one. Good one, Swagoo. That podcast was a lot of fun, by the way. Shout out to the Kelsey brothers and to Taylor Swift for doing that, bringing in a whole lot more football fans than we would have seen otherwise. Let's go on trend around the league with some numbers from last season and see if our analysts think this trend continues. So here's where we start. Let's talk about those guys, right? Josh Allen became the first player in NFL history to have at least 25 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns, and fewer than 10 interceptions in a single season. Interceptions had previously been an issue for Allen, right? He threw 18 in 2023, which was second most in the NFL. Hawk, does Josh Allen continue to limit turnovers next season?
I think he does. I think what we saw from Josh Allen is like the first year of a new era in his career. Like the thing that made him special a year ago was his ability to limit turnovers, right? Not force the ball. We know he has a rocket arm. We know he's good for 40 touchdowns, whether rushing or passing. But what he did last year was protect the football and not take unnecessary risks. Without Stephon Diggs, it forced him into that role. And I think from here on out, we're going to see that version of Josh Allen.
All right, and how about Jared Goff, not golf, whose accuracy was on point last season? He had 9 games where he had a completion percentage of at least 75%. That was 3 more than any other quarterback. Marcus, does Goff continue this efficiency without Ben Johnson as his offensive coordinator?
I believe he does, but I say it with a little bit of trepidation, Boogie, because, look, we know that offensively these guys were a tier above everybody when it came to scheme, when it came to getting Goff in his situations. The play action pass, which he thrives at, Ben Johnson made sure to keep him in those situations. The run game was a big part of what they did. But I think Dan Campbell being there and he set the tone and understands what Jared Goff does at a very high level, I don't think it changes much. So I think the trend will continue of him playing at this level. But Ben Johnson is gone, and I'm not going to act like that's nothing.
Yeah, I like it. I agree. All right, let's go to the news of Wednesday, you guys. Shedeur Sanders injured his oblique warming up yesterday. The Browns said he's day-to-day, now unlikely to play Saturday in the preseason game against the Eagles. Here's more from Kevin Stefanski on Shedeur today.
Yeah, felt it early, I think warming up, and then felt it throughout individuals, so took a look at it. If it's a right guard, you can play through that. When it's a quarterback, you kind of need that muscle to throw. So unfortunately, going to put him down for a little bit here. We'll treat it day to day and see how he responds, but want to be smart because he's a thrower, so you can't push that thing.
So could it be a situation where Tyler might play the whole game if it comes to that?
Everything's on the table. We'll see.
Yeah, that was Tyler Huntley, by the way, if you're keeping track of all the Browns quarterbacks. Marcus, how do you think this injury for Shedeur, we love Snoop, how does this injury for Shedeur, though, factor into how the Browns are trying to manage their quarterback room?
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate, obviously, for Shedeur, because after that preseason game, I was of the mindset that he deserved more reps to compete for the 2 spot. I think him, Kenny Pickett, and Dillon Gabriel are bunched. If Kenny Pickett has any leeway, it'll just be because he spent more time in the NFL. But Shedeur put on a phenomenal display of what the potential of him being in this offense could be against Carolina, and then you get an injury. Now, here's the caveat, though. The injury shouldn't cost him his opportunity when he gets back, because it didn't cost the other 2 guys. He didn't move up to the second quarterback on that depth chart after that performance, after 2 other guys were injured. So when he gets back, I think everybody is still in this conversation for who will be Joe Flacco's backup, and he'll need to continue to put his best foot forward as he moves forward and gets healthy. But getting healthy is the most important thing right now.
Yeah, it's a valuable point. Marcus mentioned the injuries to this QB room. Graz, what can you tell us more about the health of the quarterbacks for Cleveland?
There's not much. Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old, is the healthiest dude there. Dillon Gabriel has been working his way back from his injury this week and has been able to participate in 11-on-11 team drills. Kenny Pickett has not. He's still working his way back from his injury. And now, of course, Shedeur Sanders is hurt, and Tyler Huntley is there as well. So it seems like Flacco is probably the week 1 starter by default at this point, based on his experience and his health. But I think what Kevin Stefanski said there at the end is like the official motto of Browns quarterbacks. He said everything is on the table and we'll see. I think that's just how they're approaching it.
I think for Joe Flacco, I like to think of, most people not going into a situation having taken crazy pills. And I know the Browns did not sign Joe Flacco thinking we're going to get the best version of this 40-plus-year-old quarterback, and this is going to be the future of this franchise. How is Joe Flacco going to do? Take his 18 or so years in the league, average them out, and that's probably what the expectation is for Joe Flacco. Now, when you look at Kenny Pickett, when you look at Shedeur Sanders, when you look at Dillon Gabriel, you're hoping that those are guys that can reach their ceiling, and you're going to figure out who has the fastest track to do so. And I know Joe Flacco didn't come into this season thinking, I'm going to be the best version that I've ever been in the National Football League. Otherwise, his agent would have negotiated a different contract. And Marcus, if you're listening, Junior would never have to worry about that with me as his representation. I'm just going to put that out there. Next, what I'm going to tell you is, for Shedeur Sanders, for Dillon Gabriel, for Kenny Pickett, for the rest of this preseason, they need to get those reps. They need to continue to show what they have in the tank so that the Browns have a good sense of saying, if Joe Flacco is the week 1 starter, cool, but what does that ceiling or that cliff look like before one of these other guys surpass him to become their guy?
By the way, if you missed it, Swagu's son, we'll show you a little bit more about this later on in the show, but he is the #1 prospect in basketball. Junior is incredible. And we are all now vying to be his agent. So Swag, Hawk's got his name in there. I thought I had pole position,
quit today, Swag.
But I can't compete with
texted him this morning. I texted him this morning and told him, hey, man, you got to let me hold something, bro. I've been taking care of you. You got to let me hold something now.
More on that to come as we continue on NFL Live. By the way, Drake May made waves as a rookie, and now he's back to turn that potential into wins, they hope. Could the Patriots be the NFL's biggest surprise? Someone here thinks so, and they'll explain why next.